The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Officially in the festive season, and we are definitely ensuring that we create that environment, create an atmosphere that will certainly cause you to be all prepared to usher in the Christmas as well as the ushering of the new year. And we hope that all this will be done in a very peaceful environment. We'll be focusing on Guyana, primarily because Guyana and Venezuela, because the presidents of the respective territories, they are currently meeting over in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and that is as a result of an invitation that was given by the president, the prime minister, of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Rav Gonzalez. Inflation consultation is taking place in St. Lucia as we speak. Inflation a little over 6% right now, very high. And this is being manifested in the high cost of living, of course, and of course the high cost of goods and the services on the island. So we have a lot to discuss on our broadcast this afternoon. And we'll be taking your calls at 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026, as we say hello to you around the world, especially to you, Chantal, over in Hawaii. It should be 6:35 right now and 6:45 a.m. and you are watching the broadcast. In a bit, your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. And Kimani will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. It is the penultimate broadcast for this year. Tomorrow will be our final NewsSpin program. And what a year it has been. So inflation, very much an issue that we have been grappling with in St. Lucia for more than a year now, brought about by many factors. People have blamed it on the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. And also before that, we had COVID, the COVID crisis. And this has manifested itself in many ways in St. Lucia, and many entities on the island having difficulties in accessing and also in importing certain goods into the island. So as a result of this, we've had to look at other areas to supply us with those items which we have been reliably provided over several decades prior to the disruption. So this would have resulted in the cost of certain items increasing exorbitantly. More so, what we cannot avoid, those items that we have to consume in terms of things to eat, things we need in the household and things of that nature. And definitely what would have worsened the situation, and that's where the inflation would bite. And the fact that our salaries, many people's salaries, they have not adjusted to meet the increase in inflation. You have had the increase in bread, also the increase in transportation cost, and a whole host of other goods and services increasing. So this is being discussed as we speak. It's the subject of a consultation involving many stakeholders on the island. The Minister with responsibility for commerce, Ms. Emma Hippolyte, she has been speaking at the commencement of a discussion which is ongoing at this point in time. The big issue is what will come out of that discussion, because we continue to hear from the authorities, in particular the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, that this is imported inflation. And definitely he is saying that his government, his administration, cannot do anything about it. So it's left to you as consumers to continue to stomach those hikes. When will there be any improvement? Definitely does not appear that there is any indication on the horizon that people are going to get any kind of respite from this inflation that we have been experiencing for so long now. Let us hear from the island's Commerce Minister, Ms. Emma Hippolyte.
Over the past 2 years, between 2022 and 2023, we all have been having one conversation or another concerning different things. High prices, cost of living. We have our own terminology. But the subject in question is experienced by many of high and rising prices of goods and services across all sectors of our domestic economy, but more so in food, retail, and the distribution sector. This sentiment regarding a marked and sustained increase in prices has been so widespread and broad-based that it has culminated in a crescendo of voices, even resulting in a petition, crying out in anguish and despair for some kind of intervention and relief from businesses and, of course, our government. In brief, the observed phenomenon of a great increase in the price of goods and services over a given period of time is what the economists call inflation. It is measured by percentage changes in the Consumer Price Index, which captures movements in prices of items in our consumption basket. This basket is made up of various goods and services or sub-indices on which we typically spend our money, albeit in different proportions or weights on a monthly basis. And these sub-indices include 1, food and beverages, 2, shelter or housing, 3, clothing, 4, transportation, 5, health, 6, recreation or entertainment, 7, education, and 8, communications. Although some of these indices have moved more than others, they have all generally increased. As a result, we have been told by our statistics office that there has been some 6.3% increase in the average cost of this consumer basket. But where did this episode of inflation come from? Most of you have been asking, and some of you have been speculating. While there are many causes of inflation, such as increases in price of inputs or the money supply, the recent spike in inflation, which the world has been experiencing over the period 2021-2023, has been largely attributed to the post-COVID era. As we recovered from COVID, you have as well disrupted global supply chains where we have been unable to respond or match the surge in global demands across many commodities, including oil and food, compounded by shipping delays and other logistics-related bottlenecks as economies reopen. This supply shortfall and imbalance in global markets serve to drive prices upward, resulting in a peak in global inflation in 2022, which ranged between 7.2 to 9.8%. In advanced economies such as the US, the Euro area, and emerging markets, the highest in decades. And in the US, up to last night on the news, was saying it's the highest in 40 years. In St. Lucia's case, inflation likewise climbed to an unprecedented high, causing much anxiety and consternation among the population. But why should we care about inflation? What are some of the impacts of inflation? We, including the government, are concerned about inflation, and rightfully so, because it has a deleterious and negative impact on individuals and households in a number of ways. For example, it slows down economic growth. It reduces our purchasing power and increases the cost of living. Left unchecked, inflation also reduces the real value of our savings and makes creditors worse off, as the real value of debt payments reduces as inflation rises.
You just heard from the island's Commerce Minister speaking at a consultation on inflation earlier today. We just thought I had to play it, give you sufficient time to digest what was being said, primarily because this is so important. And no doubt you have been airing your concerns with regard to the toll, the impact that this has been taking on you and in particular over the last several months in St. Lucia, with the high cost of those goods at the island's supermarkets. How you are managing to meet that challenge, clearly it is beyond many of us in this country, and no one is spared. But again, we cannot take any solace from what we've been hearing from the authorities in terms of coming up with a solution to that particular problem. Because as citizens, as consumers, what you want is not so much of an explanation. Explanation is okay, but it ought not to end there. You need solutions so that you can meet that particular challenge. What we will do right now, we're also looking at the situation over in St. Vincent, where the presidents of Guyana and Venezuela, they are meeting as we speak. I will try to establish contact with a St. Lucian journalist who is now living and working over in St. Vincent, and that is Robertson Henry, so that we can get an update. In the meantime, there are various statements being issued and observations being made with regard to the responses being made by CARICOM and to a certain extent our Prime Minister to this development involving the two South American countries. For example, one commentator has described the response of CARICOM as a study in spinelessness. So we have Robertson Henry online right now. Good afternoon to you, Robertson. Hello.
Good afternoon, Timothy. Hi, good afternoon, Timothy.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast, Robertson. What is the situation in St. Vincent? Because I've seen some video footage of the arrival of the President Ali of Guyana and President Maduro of Venezuela. So that meeting should have gotten underway a few hours ago. What's the mood like in St. Vincent?
Yes, the meeting has begun. In addition to Presidents Ali and Maduro arriving, you also have Prime Ministers Philip J.P. of St. Lucia, Deacon Mitchell of Grenada, Keith Rowley of Trinidad and Tobago, Mia Motley of Barbados, along with representatives from the Secretary General of the United Nations here. The mood, okay, let me look. One, speaking to media colleagues, persons are hopeful that there will be a solution today because it's a very ticklish situation, both presidents having made their positions clear publicly, and from all intents and purposes, like those positions are cast in stone. However, speaking to Prime Minister Gonzalez this morning, just when he arrived at the airport, he told me that he is confident something will happen. And he have always said that the first step is to get the two parties to talk, which is happening today. As to, we have not gotten any update yet as to how far the talks have progressed. If the two leaders have reached some sort of agreement to talk and work towards a settlement, we do not know. But we are waiting that at the end of the talks, there will be a press conference. If such talks will end today, if the parties will continue speaking after today towards a settlement. And as Prime Minister Gonzalez said, this is not a one-day international. It is not a T20. It is a test match with one umpire and a number of match referees on hand to assist. So on the ground itself, amongst the populace, as you know, there are Guyanese citizens living in the various Caribbean countries. Over here, some of them are adamant that the Essequibo region remains in the hands of Guyana. But equally, so are the concerns of many that if war breaks out, it will be bad for the Caribbean, and that we cannot have. It would be beneficial, according to many people, for Guyana and Venezuela to live together. Spoke to one Guyanese journalist this morning, and he's saying there's a lot of cross-border trade, not just between Venezuela and Guyana, but amongst those countries, Brazil, Suriname, Venezuela, Guyana, Cayenne. And he's hoping that cooler heads will prevail. There will be an understanding. But in closing, Tim, it is one other journalist who threw something out at us. And his question was President Maduro using Guyana to achieve something else? Is Guyana just a pawn in a larger scheme? Is he really after the Essequibo, or he wants to use Guyana to bring about some kind of arrangement, some kind of peace with the Americans? So there are many questions being asked, and it's only at the end of the day we will get some answers for the people of the Caribbean. But everyone is keeping their fingers crossed that won't be any conflict, that there won't be any war after today, that both leaders will come to an understanding. We will not resort to conflict. We will resort to continue speaking with each other.
Okay, Robertson, thank you so much for that update. Reporting from the Vincentian capital, Kingstown, is St. Lucian journalist who lives and works over in that Caribbean territory. Just before that meeting got underway today, the president of Guyana, Dr. Irfan Ali, did speak about what is the message he has, what he plans to tell Maduro at that meeting today.
Very clearly, Essequibo belongs to Guyana, and very clearly that we are not exiting the ICJ. There is absolutely no negotiations on the issue of Essequibo. That controversy shall be settled at the ICJ, and he must respect the outcome. But there are a lot of things that we have to talk about in terms of living as neighbors, the coexistence, the development of our region, regional energy security, ensuring this region remains peaceful and stable, and importantly, having President Maduro understand that he needs to work in accordance with international law and follow the orders of the ICJ.
We just heard there from the president of Guyana, Dr. Ali. Good afternoon to you, Kimani. What is in the chat room? And I think you also have a press release from the office of the Prime Minister. And we just heard there from Robertson Henry that Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre of St. Lucia is in St. Vincent.
Yes, Tim. Good afternoon. A press release from the Office of the Prime Minister says Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre is in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for a high-level dialogue between President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Dr. Irfan Ali, and President of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, amidst increasing tensions over the Essequibo region. Honorable Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, chairs the high-level dialogue. Prime Minister Pierre joined other CARICOM heads of government and leaders from the wider Latin America region for the high-level dialogue that seeks to de-escalate tensions between Guyana and Venezuela and forge a pathway towards an amicable resolve to the dispute. The Prime Minister and CARICOM heads of government are committed to pursuing all appropriate channels to ensure our region remains a zone of peace in furtherance of the preservation of long-standing peaceful coexistence between Guyana and Venezuela. Deputy Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire will act as Prime Minister until the evening of December 14, 2023.
All right.
Now,
as for the chat room, what's happening there?
In the chat room, someone says, Tim, if it's imported inflation, then inflation in St. Lucia should have been easing off for months now because inflation in the United States has been cooling off. Someone says Barbados is bracing for a VAT-free day. St. Kitts has their reduced VAT day tomorrow. Someone says, I'm already getting withdrawal syndrome knowing that the show is coming to an end for this year. Another comment, nothing is going to happen, a waste of time. Business owners will just say it's the government's fault that everything is high, and they would be right. It's the government who chooses to place another tax on the country. Another comment, oil has gone down in the U.S. drastically, so what is she talking about? Someone says inflation came from the 2.5% levy. And another comment, nothing about the 2.5% levy from Emma Hippolyte, sorry. Wow. That's it in the chat room, Tim.
Thank you so much. 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026, as we continue to go through your comments as well in the chat room. Okay, somebody says, so only after the journalist in St. Vincent and the Grenadines said he was there, they decided to send a press release. No, that is not true. That statement has been on the website of the Office of the Prime Minister for a while, from earlier today. Kimani? When
I only received it at 12 p.m.
So at 12 o'clock. So we just heard from Robertson Henry, so it's just before 1 o'clock. So definitely the press release was on the website before we heard from Robertson Henry over in St. Vincent. People are very, very, very suspicious. But with regard to the high cost of living and, of course, the talk of inflation, yes, I agree with one of the comments made in the chat room that the government of St. Lucia only worsened the situation by imposing this 2.5% levy on the citizens of this country. And not even the main supermarket chain in St. Lucia could have denied it when they sent a memo to the employees and their employees and made reference to the 2.5% levy and the fact that it has resulted in the items at that supermarket having to be increased. It's unavoidable. It is the reality. It is the truth that this 2.5% worsened the situation. 4522979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Now, amidst this, the government did promise that it would be going through recommendations that were made by a special commission that would be proposing the method that could be employed, and that is to ensure that we have either a minimum wage or livable wage in effect in St. Lucia. And this document, according to the Prime Minister and I think the Labour Minister as well, it has been before the Cabinet for maybe about a month now. And as I said recently, maybe earlier this week or last week, that maybe, considering that we are in the festive season right now, the government of St. Lucia will be in a position to make a clear pronouncement on this maybe by January or February of next year. So people must continue to wait. Employers or employees as well must continue to wait to hear definitively what is the decision of the government as far as the minimum and livable wage is concerned. In the meantime, inflation is certainly taking its toll on us. We have a call. Let's take the call at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Good afternoon. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Timothy.
Hi.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Pastor Ben.
And good afternoon to all the listeners to the most monitored talk show in the world. Tim, I am announcing Operation Rescue St. Lucia Phase 5. Our final phase will be taking place next week, God willing. It has been a journey. I completed Phase 4 in Supriere about a month ago. And on a Tuesday, God willing, Tuesday the 19th, Wednesday the 20th, and Thursday the 21st, Operation Rescue St. Lucia from Crimes and Violence takes place at Groseley on the corners of Dauphin and Marina Streets. That's across Castro's Bar from 5 o'clock, and we wrap it up at 8 o'clock. We would certainly want the people of North to come and hear what Pastor Ben has to say, reference to crime fighting measures, helping the public understand there is a spiritual dimension in the crime fighting efforts, and we look back and it appears that the message is now beginning to get off the ground. So I'm inviting the people of North in particular and the interested people to come out and join in the fight, a spiritual dimension, the fight in crimes and violence. And I'm hoping that after this year's effort, from Phase 1 in V4, Phase 2 in Castries, Phase 3 in Denry South, and Denry North, Phase 4 in Supriere, and now Phase 5 in Groseley, I'm sending a message that there is a spiritual dimension in the crimes that's going on in the country, and we have to include that spiritual dimension if we're going to keep fighting crime.
Okay. Thank you so much, Pastor Ben, for that update. Again, Operation Rescue St. Lucia enters Phase 5 next week. That is Tuesday the 19th, Wednesday the 20th, and the 21st in Groseley, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. You are watching and listening to NewsSpin right here on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on YouTube. Still to come on the broadcast, we will continue to monitor developments over in St. Vincent with regard to that meeting involving the heads of state or the presidents of Guyana and also Venezuela. The position has been taken by Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has been severely criticized by the opposition. We'll be visiting this. And also a study in spinelessness. That's the description of the response so far of CARICOM to that ongoing dispute in the South American region between those two countries. The broadcast continues in just a bit.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
It's my life and I want more. More time, more power. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card. Pay direct to Lucy like my account. I have the power, yeah. Pay online to Lucy like my account. Anywhere, any day, any hour. Lights are on at home. No more standing in line. No more worrying about my bill. Now I'm all paid up. Got more time to chill, yeah, yeah. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card.
Register today to set up Lucelect My Account by going to www.myaccount.lucelect.com on any device. Follow the steps to register and pay your electricity bills directly to Lucelect online and get back to your life. For now, this service is available to customers with domestic accounts only.
Celebrate the season with KFC's Christmas Festive Feast. Feast on our festive bucket. 6 pieces of chicken, 2 small mashed potatoes, 2 corns, 2 sodas, all for just $45. Or grab the festive box. 5 dipping wings, a sandwich, fries, a biscuit, and a soda, only $28. Make your holidays special with KFC's Festive Feast. Available at all KFC locations and for delivery. WhatsApp us at 484-0400 or visit our website, kfcslu.com, for more information. This is a limited time offer. Happy holidays from the management and staff of KFC.
You asked for it, and it's back. The National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited announces the return of its Merry Till February Christmas loan promotion. Get up to $30,000 with absolutely no deposit and up to 5 years to repay. It's Merry Till February with the Farmers Credit Union. Call 454-6710 in V4 or 452-7277 in Castries to book an appointment with one of our loans officers today. Terms and conditions apply.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are able to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel and shoulder pain, cramps and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. To make it easier for you, La Clinique de Corps is currently offering a special 30% discount for the Christmas season for all specialist consultations. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So, walk into the new year pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book your appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Tis the season for new internet, a laptop, and some extra cash. This Christmas is on us. Sign up in-store or online today at discoverflow.co. Terms and conditions apply. Valid while stocks last.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Celebrate this festive season with automotive art and make it a December to remember. Deck the halls of your garage with incredible deals that will light up your holiday season. For a limited time, enjoy a merry 20% off on all tools and accessories. The perfect gift for the car enthusiast in your life. But the holiday cheer doesn't stop there. Buy 3 tires on selected tire models and unwrap the gift of a 4th one for free. It's our way of spreading the joy of the road. And if that's not enough to make your season bright, slay the streets with up to 50% off on rims. Make this Christmas unforgettable. A December to remember at Automotive Art. Don't forget that we've extended opening hours in our Castries branch until 6 p.m. So hurry in and let the savings sleigh ride into your festive celebration. Automotive Art, where holiday magic meets the open road.
Find me where they find nice, where we come to play within it. Blast your stress away, but know your limit. Just feel it, you're winning. We're having a blast, blast, blast. Hey! Your one-stop shop, lottery, VLTs and bingo. Come for the games, stay for the food, drinks and more. Celebrate with me, we feeling lucky. Blast with victory. Find me where they find nice, where we come to play within it. Blast your stress away, but know your limit. Just feel it, you're winning. We're having a blast, blast, blast. Yeah, we playing blast.
Must be 18 or over to play. Only from the St. Lucia National Lottery. Changing lives.
The National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union wishes to inform all its members that its 20th annual general meeting has been rescheduled. The annual meeting will now be held on Sunday, December 17th at the Viewfort Infant School on Clark Street. The meeting will start from 1 p.m. All members of the credit union are asked to make a special effort to attend the 20th annual general meeting. There will be lots of attractive prizes to be won.
Forget to get your NewsSpin mug. To do so, just send a message to 716-2026, 716-2026. And so far, we've been selling lots and lots of mugs. Just recently, Kimani, you sold 2 mugs to Mrs. Plant. Of Plant's Place
in Dennery.
And also sold several mugs yesterday, on National Day. So
I will be sending you my invoice for my commission, Tim.
Yes, you will be getting 5%. No, 2.5%. 2.5%. I'll be giving you 2.5% on every sale that you make. Also, lots of calls. For example, a lady called from Martinique to book to order one, and also somebody sent me a message from Hawaii, and she'll be getting her mug very, very soon. So Continue to send me those messages, 716-2026, and that is to order your Christmas NewsSpin mugs. 452-2979. We continue with your calls as well as your WhatsApp calls and messages at 716-2026. What is in the chat room? Kimani, any comments there?
We have a few comments in the chat room. Someone says, crime is with attitude. See how people behave. Tim, you recall the Albert Bridge in the Valley? Was it from Venezuela? Presently, we need more bridges. Our PM may sing for his supper. Someone says Pastor Ben should come together with the other religious leaders and government to help solve the crime in St. Lucia. Another comment, what's there to talk about? The Essequibo belongs to Guyana. Another comment, Mistress Minister, as global inflation normalizes in first world countries, there's need for more transparency to justify taxes, levies, and high gas prices have a significant impact on what appears to be price gouging. Another comment, this is not going to end well. The UN might have to get involved. And someone says, one umpire whose hands have been greased and the match referees whose hands have been promised to be greased by Venezuela. Welcome to the Caribbean, where this leftist ideology and hand greasing is the order of the day.
WhatsApp message, no one is doubting there is inflation, but these blind leaders we have don't seem to see that the high fuel prices and the 2.5% levy are making the situation worse. And when people elect governments into office, irrespective of some of the challenges caused by external factors or maybe internal situations and so on, they want those governments that claim to have the interests of the people at heart, that claim to have the wherewithal in terms of the intelligence to take the right decisions that will have a positive impact on the lives of the people. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Team.
Good afternoon to you.
Compliments of the season.
Same to you, sir. How are you?
I'm good, man. And sympathy greetings to Rick Wayne. Rick, I know how it is because I buried one of my daughter. So be strong. I know God don't give more than you can bear. But I'm calling to the team. That meeting in St. Vincent, I hope Guyana, they don't ambush Guyana with it. Because under Alba, all these Caribbean territories took from Alba. And one of the things in Alba, once Venezuela called for the money, within 30 days you have to pay up. So nobody have the balls to say to Venezuela now, you are wrong on this one. I'm calling you out. Because we all indebted to Venezuela, Dominica, St. Vincent, Antigua, Jamaica, St. Lucia is not much because we did not get a chance to do much under Alban and Petro-Caribbean. So we have the problem right there. Guyana has to be careful that they don't sell out on them and say, split it into, give them half, take half. But Guyana has done the right thing. They have invited the Americans to be the watchdog with them. Nothing will come out of it. Nobody will stand up and say to Venezuela or Maduro at this point, you are wrong. Because they all, like I said, are indebted to Nicolas Maduro and Venezuela. Team, have a Merry Christmas and hoping next year I can participate the way I want. Okay. Thank you, team. Bye. Timani Lynch, bye.
Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. 716-2026. Let me see if I have any of your WhatsApp messages to go through. Somebody says there. Okay, all right. Let's see if you have another comment. There is a charge of US $250 by the Bureau of Standards on all imported vehicles. Tim, this charge is not imported inflation, and that is a WhatsApp message. So the government has to take some of the responsibility, some of the blame for the high cost of living in our country. And I know that the government will not take that responsibility, will not take the blame. Likewise, some or if not all of its supporters. But definitely that is not what people expect from a government that says it will be putting the people first. You do not want the government contributing to the high cost of living in a country. You expect that the government will be doing the opposite. But in this particular case, the government has decided to impose this 2.5% levy, and according to it, it is to finance the health care of the nation as well as the security of the country. We have a call in line. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Hi, Tim.
Hi. Good afternoon to you, Rick. How are you, sir?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Life is given us and life is taken away. And the shame of it is what we don't do with it, and sometimes what we do with it. So sometimes we are alive, but we're just undead, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes we think we're alive, but we're not. And sometimes we don't even deserve life, because every time somebody dies, whether that person is close to you or not, you should be thinking how blessed you are to be breathing and to be alive and to be putting that life to better use, and just when people are talking foolishness.
So therefore, let me ask you that question, Rick. What if we were not mortals? What if we were not people who could die? What if what if we were living forever, for eternity?
But we do live forever.
In what way? In terms of our
you
legacy?
You think Shakespeare is really dead?
Yeah, people
Shakespeare is being quoted about every day. And what would it, let's say Shakespeare in England was alive today, we would be quoting him from St. Lucia, never having set eyes on him, but we would be dealing with what he represents, no?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we're dealing with mortal and immortal and that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, Tim, it is what it is. And we have to deal with the uselessness of most of us, that we are given life. Some of us are even permitted to have healthy lives, almost luxurious lives, if you like. Although when you think about those people who live their lives of luxury, they're the ones who are really not living at all, because all they're doing is stuffing themselves with expensive shit and poisoning themselves.
But I asked the question because of the behavior of some of us human beings. Our behavior.
I know exactly why you asked that.
Our behavior is like we will never die, we will never get old. You
yeah,
know?
but you see, that is not the issue about we never die or whatever. While we are alive, what we are supposed to be doing is, you know, I don't want to get biblical and scriptural, but so much of the scriptures are wisdom. You don't have to believe in any God to appreciate the fact that some very enlightened people wrote the scriptures. I am not into the miracles and who walked on the sea and all that kind of stuff, but I'm into the advice given in the Bible, those simple rules that none of us has been able to keep. Honor thy mother and father, do this and do that, the 10 Commandments. Yeah. None of us has ever, no human being has ever been able to keep those very simple commandments, you know, or principles of life. Change it from commandments. I don't believe Moses handed a long arm from heaven, and God handed his arm from heaven, and Moses collected it near a burning bush. I don't believe in that crap. But you can tell those stories are done up for peasants and whatever. But in those stories is a lot of wisdom. If we could obey the 10 Commandments per book, what a life we would have, Tim. All those murders, all those broken marriages, all those eating yourself to death, all those eating bad food, laziness, all those things are in the 10 Commandments, right?
Yes.
So really, when you're not living according to those rules, you're walking dead, you know. And if you look well around you, most of the people you know, for what they contribute to the world and for what they give back for what the life they have, they're walking dead, you know, Tim. Walking dead. So I say that so people can think about it. This is how I live my life, and I have always lived my life. Every single day, I want to do the best I can do on it. Be the best I can do. I mean, Nicole, everybody who knows who Nicole is. Nicole is telling me I'm gifted and all that kind of stuff. I said to her, check out the people we call gifted. They are the hardest workers at what they do. By coincidence, no?
No.
But they turn around and say they are gifted.
Yeah.
But what they were was that they worked hardest at the things they do. They were obsessed with being good at what they do.
It comes with a great degree of discipline because somebody with discipline.
Discipline?
Yeah, it comes with a great degree of discipline.
I don't want to go into all those things we would be speaking all day. But I'm saying what is obvious is that those people we call gifted and so on, they are also, look at Renault. Renault is an example. We don't look at examples. We only see the naughty side or the political side of Renault. Renault is somebody we studied. Derek Walker's a guy that we studied. My detractors, for example, I laugh at them. Can you just visualize me sitting there laughing at idiots who tell me what an adjective is, or idiots who want to tell me something about healthful living, at my age, man, and with my faculties intact? Can you imagine when people make with me, how I laugh at them and almost feel sorry for them? Because smart people don't make with me. It's stupid people who make with me. Rick Wayne did that. Rick Wayne had a woman. Rick Wayne that. That's what they'd have to deal with, because they can't begin to imagine Rick Wayne's gifts or how much discipline the likes of Rick Wayne have, and what it takes to be a champion bodybuilder, and I dare say a champion writer, and I dare say a champion thinker. But then so is other people. There are a lot of other people with those championship qualities, and it doesn't just happen. You cannot just sit there and expect to be able to know what happened in 1800. You have to read up and read different views and so on. But then here's what I want to say today. That's your last show?
No, it's the penultimate one. Tomorrow is the last one.
Oh, penultimate. Well, I want to just put something. I want you to think very hard when it's a few lines, Tim. According to the text, TXTS, she came from a wealthy Sicilian family, was never married. She is the patron saint of Syracuse in Sicily. And she's also the patron saint of virgins. Virgins, okay? An angry suitor reported her to the local authorities of her time, and she was sentenced to be removed from her house and taken to a brothel and forced into prostitution. According to the legend and the text, the order was thwarted by divine intervention. In other words, the next line says, she became immovable. They couldn't lift her. She became immovable and could not be carried away. She was condemned to death by fire, but proved impervious to the flames. Couldn't burn her. Finally, her neck was pierced with a sword, and she died. Do you know what that is, Tim?
You tell me, sir.
Huh?
You tell me.
Of course I'll tell you, but I'm asking you because you should know, and everybody listening to you should know, and I'm telling you they don't know. And there's good reason why they don't know. St. Lucia was named after her, Tim. This white woman I just told you about there, from Sicily. It was St. Lucy. And by the way, in Scandinavian countries, each town elects its own St. Lucia Day. So our St. Lucia National Day, okay, is celebrated in Scandinavian countries to mark the beginning of the Christmas season. Then you're wondering, why is Rick reading that? Well, this is at a time in a country where if you don't look like some of us, if your skin is not midnight black, and you don't look like the notion of what a black man should look like, and you're a problem. If you don't look like one of us, look how you're born here or not, you don't belong, and you're not owed the same respect. And we divide our whole country based on that. A country that depends, has always depended, and I hate to say it, but it's a fact, We have always depended on the generosity of strangers, to quote Tennessee Williams. And those strangers on whom we depend are all white people. We're busy going up to beg in Saudi Arabia and everywhere else where we beg and beg and beg. All of them from white people, Tim.
Yeah,
absolutely. We look at Africa, and Africa is the oldest country in the world, eh?
Mm-hmm.
You know that?
Yes.
I mean, that's where man supposedly began. Africa.
Civilization.
Okay?
That's where it started.
So why isn't Africa the most industrious place in the world and operated strictly by Africans? Why, Tim?
It has to do with poor leadership. Those people
poor leadership? All right. So you're telling me that the Africans have always had poor leadership, right?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
That's what.
I'm not going to go into any argument on that.
We have been reading about this for decades now. It's about leadership.
Because I want to make a bigger point than that. Like when we're doing our history of black slavery, African slavery, we conveniently edited the fact that before those boats could go to Africa, we Africans were enslaving Africans. These are tough things to think about, and we don't like it because it's inconvenient. And now this is my biggest worry in this country at this time. Why do you think I have been deliberately saying I'm not a product of St. Lucia? I don't get any big deal pleasure out of saying I'm not a product of St. Lucia. But my message is stop using that against people to your own inadvertent detriment. I am Larry Carrasco, originally named. That's what's in the registry. I am a St. Lucian by birth. But what I eventually became, the opportunities were never at home for me to become that. And if I had never gone away, my ambitions would die like everybody else's ambitions die. Do you know how many young people we sacrificed to the block because their frustrations were, their ambitions were frustrated by crooked politicians, by politicians who didn't give them a break, or by politicians who screwed up their mothers and screwed up their lives, because politicians run our country and have been running it for as long as we know. So we are victims of our own people. That nonsense when we had the Black Lives Matter and we had 2 black politicians taking a knee in the square, all this kind of mockery and mimicry that is so retarding. We the people tolerate this shit, and we pay for it with our country going nowhere. Every time we want to boast of one party having done so and so, it is merely saying one party begged from a white man to help us out or we die. Every time we talk about, well, who did this and who, most of the positive things we have are our institutions, church, parliament, the law, all of those things. You know, our schools and the education system and what we are taught. You know, we inherited all of those things, Tim.
Yeah.
And we did not inherit them from Africa. Okay, so when we go busy,
somehow we have not been able to refine those things that we have inherited. We have not been able to improve them. As a matter of fact, we have just destroyed most of them.
Well, okay, and you know, I really wish we would have the few remaining people in this country who have a brain that can operate, because we have some brain, but they have gone into hiding because they are so, solid and abused what they were given as gifts. They have shit on those gifts for so long that they are in hiding. But I wish, like the priests, our priests have gone into hiding. The collective church representatives have all gone into hiding. I mean, I don't want to hear from Father Albert about bolams. I want to hear Father Albert preaching from his pulpit, and like Father John used to do, about how horrid it is for a mother with no man to get money to feed to give the children so they can go to school because the man has deserted her. And even if they find the man doesn't have a job or education. That is our country. And pretty soon we will not be able to be begging from Saudis because there's a price to pay. And St. Lucians don't know the price we actually pay for those Saudi things and Arab things. And we don't know. because we are paying with our dignity, quite often perpetuating our inferiority, the notion of our inferiority. We are perpetuating it by going begging, please help me with my hospital. We screwed up our own hospital for 14 years. We can't account to the people. And you know, those same politicians, a whole bunch of them, none of them cares to explain to St. Lucians how you would have spent $400 million, and there's no hospital. Instead, you're talking about who didn't do what. We want to know how different administrations could have spent $400 million on a project we are yet to see materialize. And those of us who don't ask those questions are complicit in jackassery and what's the word? The burning of we're hurting ourselves.
Self-immolation.
Immolation, yeah. Immolation, yes. That's what we're doing every time we support garbage. We're stuffing garbage into our mouths and eating it like caviar. The politicians are not at any stage better than anybody in this country. In fact, they are worse, because without the politics and the showing up, they are nothing. They're next to Bram, unemployable, most of them, Tim. And so it has been for a long time. And those people who were thinking my son was killed, I was going to cool down, there ain't nothing going to cool me down until I close my eyes as well. So I want your chat room. It begins in little groups, you know. If your chat room can only sift out whatever I said there today, disagree with whatever they want to, put it back in my face. Let's talk about it again. I mean, we have to organize some groups of people with respectable minds who can sit down and in a moderate fashion, in a civilized fashion, go back to where we came from and trace how we got to where we are, and if we can save ourselves. We are in deep doo-doo. So when you're enjoying the Christmas, when you're enjoying a Christmas that you should not be enjoying, when you're celebrating a Christmas that you have no reason to celebrate, except, of course, you believe in Christ and so on and so on. We have no reason for celebration of anything, Tim. We should be mourning where we have brought our country. Contemplate that over the holidays. Contemplate how we screwed our country, because it was pristine at one time. We had fresh water at one time. We had unpolluted waters. We used to fish our own fish that we could eat. We didn't have to be importing every goddamn thing with all the poisons of steroids and everything else. When we buy rice today, we're not sure if it's real rice. We don't know. What?
Nori, continue.
When we buy rice, we don't know if it's real rice. When we eat the rotis, we don't know it's real meat in those rotis, because the Chinese and that lot are making their own meats, and you don't know if you're eating dog or sausage. We don't know. But we knew at one time.
Hope people are not eating rotis right now, Eric.
I hope they're eating and thinking, because all we do is eat them and don't think.
Yeah.
But there was a time, Tim, when every schoolboy in Labrie got up he had soursop at his disposal. At his disposal, he had strawberry, what do you call them? Sugar apple. He had coconut. He had mangoes. He had breadfruit. He had all, and the fishermen would come in here at certain times, and your mom would go and buy fresh fish, and everybody ate fresh fish.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when people actually helped people out, Tim. I grew up in that library, and I use library, but it happened in other villages as well. We were human. We have become...
Not anymore.
We have become worse than animals. Listen to our parliamentary meetings. Listen to ministers of government, the things they say about fellow St. Lucians who maybe didn't vote for them, and some who voted for them too, who may have changed their mind. Listen to what we say. We're busy trying to turn this country into South Africa, apartheid. That's what we're doing. We're now applying apartheid to Israel as if we don't have it at home. I'm glad this is not the last, because then I will also use your next program to go a little further in it. So maybe, Tim, we could start the new year contemplating whether we should change the name, because we want to change everything that's white. Change the name St. Lucia and change it to some other name. Maybe find a black name to put on it. Because right now, we St. Lucians are named after a white woman who may or may not have existed. So we never have proof. Those things happen all years, thousands of years, centuries. We have found that the St. Christopher never existed, but we used to worship St. Christopher. So maybe there was never any St. Lucia anyway. We don't know. So maybe if we so into black, change the name. Our very name we're dedicated. Our existence is dedicated to a white woman. Think about that.
Yeah. To be continued tomorrow, Rick.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much. So, Kimani, as Rick said, and he's been saying this for a while now, I think it is in response to attacks on the leader of the opposition who said a few years ago that he's a product of Canada. Rick has been saying that he's not a product of St. Lucia. So, imagine if Rick had stayed in St. Lucia all his those several decades that he spent overseas. He lived in St. Lucia as opposed to living in the UK and living in the United States. What do you think would have become of him? What do you think the kind of Rick would be calling, or the lyric rascal that will be calling NewsSpin right now?
Maybe
you understand?
Mm-hmm.
He would be retiring now as a what? Maybe a farmer or a fisherman. No, I'm just telling you. That's the possibility. That's what happens to the average St. Lucian who does not get the kind of exposure that is required, so that they have this kind of sophisticated thinking, and they're being progressive, and they're forward thinking in their approach, and they can make a meaningful contribution to the development of the country, and not be group thinkers. Everybody saying the same thing and coming to the same realization, making the same observations.
Maybe he may have been, if he had stayed in St. Lucia, like one of those he always mentions on the square, like maybe like
a
one
bum. A bum. That is one of his favorite words.
I didn't say it.
All right, the broadcast will continue in just a moment with more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages. We'll be hearing from local government minister Richard Frederick, his small take on the Guyana and Venezuela dispute.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
It's my life and I want more. More time, more power. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card. Pay direct to Lucy like my account. I have the power, yeah. Pay online to Lucy like my account. Anywhere, any day, any hour. Lights are on at home. No more standing in line. No more worrying about my bill. Now I'm all paid up. Got more time to chill, yeah, yeah. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card.
Register today to set up Lucelect My Account by going to www.myaccount.lucelect.com on any device. Follow the steps to register and pay your electricity bills directly to Lucelect online and get back to your life. For now, this service is available to customers with domestic accounts only.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Sign up for a large postpaid plan and get 2 Samsung Galaxy A4s for just $199, plus 2 entries into the Everyday Grand Giveaway. This Christmas is on us. Sign up in store or online today at discoverflow.co. Terms and conditions apply.
You asked for it, and it's back. The National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited announces the return of its Merry Till February Christmas loan promotion. Get up to $30,000 with absolutely no deposit and up to 5 years to repay. It's Merry Till February with the Farmers Credit Union. Call 454-6710 in V4 or 452-7277 in Castries to book an appointment with one of our loans officers today. Terms and conditions apply.
Get ready for the most delicious holiday season ever with KFC's 12 Days of Christmas. Starting November 18th to 19th December, spend just $30 or more at KFC and you could win fabulous prizes. Win an iPhone 15, a home entertainment system, a smartwatch, a VR headset, and household appliances. Plus, we're giving away a $1,500 grocery voucher and a $500 voucher for wine and spirits. The excitement continues from December 8th to December 19th with one incredible prize up for grabs every single day. Terms and conditions apply. This promotion is approved by the St. Lucia National Lottery. Don't miss out on your chance to win big this holiday season with KFC's 12 Days of Christmas. Promotion valid at all KFC locations and delivery. Visit kfcslu.com for full terms and conditions.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are able to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel and shoulder pain, cramps and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. To make it easier for you, La Clinique de Corps is currently offering a special 30% discount for the Christmas season for all specialist consultations. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So, walk into the new year pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book your appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Celebrate this festive season with automotive art and make it a December to remember. Deck the halls of your garage with incredible deals that will light up your holiday season. For a limited time, enjoy a merry 20% off on all tools and accessories. A perfect gift for the car enthusiast in your life. But the holiday cheer doesn't stop there. Buy 3 tires on selected tire models and unwrap the gift of a 4th one for free. It's our way of spreading the joy of the road. And if that's not enough to make your season bright, slay the streets with up to 50% off on rims. Make this Christmas unforgettable. A December to remember at Automotive Art. Don't forget that we've extended opening hours in our Castries branch until 6 p.m. So hurry in and let the savings sleigh ride into your festive celebration. Automotive Art, where holiday magic meets the open road.
Find me where they find nice, where we come to play within it. Blast your stress away, but know your limit. Just feel it, you're winning. We're having a blast, blast, blast. Hey! Your one-stop shop, lottery, VLTs and bingo. Come for the games, stay for the food, drinks and more. Celebrate with me, we feeling lucky. Blast with victory. Find me where they find nice, where we come to play within it. Blast your stress away, but know your limit. Just feel it, you're winning. We're having a blast, blast, blast. Yeah, we playing blast.
Must be 18 or over to play. Only from the St. Lucia National Lottery. Changing lives.
Gather your friends and family for a festive night filled with decadent delights and enchanting entertainment as Project Chocolat presents an evening like no other. Nuevo Chocolat! Come join us on December 23rd from 7 p.m. as the evening sparkles with performances by The Extreme Band, Sir Lancelot, DJ Rebo, and The Invader. Supply rhythms that will have you dancing all night long. Tickets are just $40 for an unforgettable night of joy and Christmas cheer. Don't wait, grab your tickets today. Available at the sale outlets at Bamboo's Bar Supreme. Wallow Chocolat, where the magic of Christmas and the allure of entertainment come together. Project Chocolat St. Lucia, celebrating Christmas in the sweetest way. Call us at 1758-731-3028 or 731-3847 for more information.
For the festive season, Lucians like their ham, the turkey, pork, beef and liquor.
Why not? But that's all for the kitchen. What about the living room?
A vacuum cleaner to tidy up the place, man.
What about the yard?
A lawnmower, a brush cutter, leaf blowers, a high pressure washer. The thing is, Europa Hardware has all the robust tools we all need to nice up the place. A large variety of water pumps, generators, air compressors, garden hoses, and more. A list that has no end. Plus, Europa services all the tools they sell. Give them a call at 452-0763. Europa Hardware, we are located in Massad, Grozile.
Happy holidays, St. Lucia, from Europa.
We now hear from a local government minister, Mr. Richard Frederick, who's also the MP for Castries Central. And he was speaking just, I think it was day before, and this at the Festival of Light, the ceremony. Okay, what's happening in the chat room, Kibani, in terms of what people are saying there?
In the chat room, someone says, I can identify, Rick, we have regressed. Gone are the days when we used to look forward to going to the hospital where there was a family atmosphere and there was medicine right there. Someone says, we could have had the Shazzy version of Rick singing for a little bread when you asked if what would
become of Rick
if he hadn't left St. Lucia. Another comment, we are afraid of naming the Integrity Commission because we are afraid persons have genuine questions on their integrity. Tim, you will have to go another week with our favorite show, and I will not even be home tomorrow to hear the last NewsSpin. Tim, one more week, please. One more week, Tim.
I am exhausted, aren't you? Aren't you tired?
I am.
Yeah, physically, mentally, just tired, just need a break.
But the people want what they want.
Yeah. All right, send a petition. All right, let's see if we have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Timothy. Good afternoon, Kimani.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
I think Rick has summed up everything I wanted to say today, because while he didn't use the word sophistication, that is, or sophisticated, this is what he put in everything he said. We are not a sophisticated people. But so I wouldn't dwell on this because Rick has said everything. But I want to talk about Emma, the Minister of Commerce.
Yes.
I watched the clip, and everything that lady said doesn't make any sense with regard to why inflation is where it is. May I ask you, isn't the EC currency also what we call it, pegged to the US dollar?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I live in Central Florida. I paid $2.77 for gas on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The average price of fuel in the pump in Central Florida is $2.89, right? Which equals $7.86 EC, right? We are paying $6.08 for fuel in St. Lucia, which is almost double what we pay in here in America. What is Emma talking about? Why doesn't she really take into consideration or be honest that the government of St. Lucia is exploiting the people of St. Lucia, and the true cost of inflation is the 2.5% plus the cost of energy or fuel and the gas? Because the thing that always causes or raises inflation is energy, which is fuel. And if fuel, and even here in America, inflation is dropping. Why is it ours is growing or climbing? The lady has to be honest with herself and take responsibility for what they have done for the past 2 years with regard to managing the economy. Have a Merry Christmas, team.
Same to you,
This
caller.
is my contribution for the day.
Okay, thank you so much and all the best to you for the festive season and, of course, a happy new year. Don't know if the clip is ready, the clip of local government minister Richard Frederick commenting on that dispute between Guyana and Venezuela. He's speaking at the ceremony for the Festival of Light, which was held on the Derek Walcott Square.
Look at Guyana and Venezuela. And we are hoping that they settle the differences very, very quickly, because this region can ill afford the prevalence of any kind of difference between those nations. So, folks, we need to understand and observe that love, peace, and light are three general principles by which the world leaders ought to rule the world. And I ask Netanyahu and Putin and all of them, why don't you tell yourselves, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me?
Speaking on Tuesday evening during the Festival of Lights ceremony, you just heard there from local government minister and MP for Castries Central, Richard Frederick. Let's take a call. Good afternoon. Okay, we lost that call, but 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. I don't know if there's anything happening in the chat room, Kimani.
A few more comments. Someone says, when people like Rick Wayne passes on, who is next in line to replace him? Look around St. Lucia. Who is there to replace the next Nobel Prize winner, Sir Arthur Lewis and Sir Derek Walcott? Can you name anyone? Well, I can name someone. Can you guess who, Tim?
Kimani.
Thomas.
Kimani Thomas.
Someone says, Rick, I disagree. We don't need their brains. We need their conscience and integrity. Tim, wrong. Africa's problem is not only due to poor leadership, it's a contributing factor, but not the sole reason. That's too much to unpack under the live, though, but let's stop pushing that narrative handed down by the colonizers and oppressors. Rick, I disagree. We don't need their brains. We need their conscience and integrity. Someone says, this will be the real test of the power of CARICOM. If our Prime Minister is too chicken to call Venezuela out, but instead, as he wants to say, they are both friends of St. Lucia, I don't have much confidence in this Labour Party. Heavy CARICOM body.
We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, team.
Yes, good afternoon to you.
I like this last clip that you played. I think it's do as I say, but don't do like me. Because the minister is asking for Putin, for all these leaders, let peace begin with him. I hope that he will say from last night or the night before, let peace begin in St. Lucia and let it begin with me. That's what I have to say, very short.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your point of view with us. We have another call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, I think we're having some difficulty in establishing contact with that contributor. We'll try one last time. Hello. All right, we lost the call. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let me see if I have any of your WhatsApp messages to go through as we're getting all set to conclude our broadcast for today. The penultimate NewsSpin program for 2023. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, you're on the air. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Tim.
Hi. Good afternoon to you,
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Kimani.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, good. Since tomorrow will be your last day on the show, Tim, I don't have to show if I will get you tomorrow, so I just wanted to call today.
Okay.
And to wish you all the best for the season. You understand?
Thank you. Same to you and your family, caller.
Yeah. Yeah. Also you and Kimani, okay?
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best and strengthen yourself so when you come back again, you're coming back strong, okay?
Because next year will be a challenging year.
Yeah, I know. And what I really want to say, I may not be able, I don't think I'm not able to speak like Rick. You understand, to have that kind of words to put together. But because of the truth that he speaks, I understand every single thing, Tim. You understand?
Yes.
I understand everything. No, I didn't go to that high school, but I understand everything. And he don't only make my day, he makes my year. You understand what I'm saying? So I just want to wish him all the best for the season also. And I want to say to hold on strong. The Lord giveth and he taketh. You understand? I know what he's going through. So put his trust in God and everything will be okay. My last thing, Tim, is I heard the clip from Richard. You understand?
Yeah.
But I think he should fix his home before. What he says is okay, but I think he should fix his home before he go Venezuela and Guyana. You understand? Fix that problem they have between red and yellow. Even when they are in the house, fix that first, and then he can talk go overs. You understand? Have a blessed day, Tim. One love.
Same to you, caller, and thank you so much for calling, and all the best to you for the festive season, and we hope that we can hear from you during the course of the new year when we start a new season of NewsSpin. Let's see if we have any of your WhatsApp messages. Once again, at 716-2026. Let's see there. We are waiting some more of your calls as well. Okay, somebody says there via WhatsApp, CARICOM should change their name from CARICOM to Carry Going. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, Tim. Okay, no. All right, let's see if we have another one. Okay, we have some comments, Gibani. Go ahead.
Someone says love needs to start between RF and Shas. Another comment, money is power, power is ego, ego is ignorance. Someone says Richard Frederick knows how other countries should act, but not his. Good afternoon, Tim. Sincerest condolences, Rick. Your resilience and inner strength is admirable. Best wishes all listening and watching from Dubai. Another comment in the chat room, someone says Sir Alan Michael Chasney will be our next Nobel laureate. That's it.
But he says the finance gurus are mute now. As far as I can see, the port development was the best place for NIC to invest. This would have the effect of 1, protecting our patrimony, 2, provide the NIC a safe investment portfolio, blue chip investment, and 3, provide the NIC government with super profit to invest in the health and security. The port is a cash cow. Why give it away? And let's see there. Okay, let's see if we can take another call, this time via WhatsApp. 716-2026. Momentarily, we have the call on the air right now. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin on the air.
Hi, Tim. Alan Shastany.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Shastany.
Good. I wanted to call in today because, unfortunately, I have some meetings tomorrow with some very important people in our country, and I will not be available to call in. And I felt it was important enough that I did call because there's been several comments, and I share those comments about the conference that took place today about inflation. And I recently, in fact, last night, heard some comments by the Honorable Guy Joseph. And I have to say to you, I think that he's hit the nail on the head. And what he said was that the price of gas in St. Lucia is still at $16.50. But meanwhile, the price on the global market has dropped below $70. We saw the introduction of the 2.5% tax. We see that the price of cooking gas is I think, very clearly excessive. And what he said is that the government is practicing tax gouging. And it's the same government that wants to put the blame on the private sector and accuse the private sector of price gouging. But meanwhile, yes, inflation is imported, but inflation now that we're in, the prices of goods globally have dropped or stabilized. And meanwhile, we're seeing that there is no change in solution or pricing. He also went and very, very importantly said that the price of fuel at the gas pump is critical to all of our sectors. There's business sectors because of transportation, the hotel sector, the people's homes, when you're having to pay excessive prices for gas, that now has a carry-on effect to every single person. So I want to say that the solution to the problem clearly is in the government's hand. And I want to remind all of us, if we don't call this government out on what they're doing and call a spade, we're not going to see any changes. It took us, when we were in opposition last time, to have an orange march for the government to admit that they were gouging the people of St. Lucia by $3 on a gallon of gas. I think that today that they're gouging it by even further amount. We are by far the most expensive place in the Caribbean for gas prices. And that's why I said that when we went to Parliament, I was really hoping that the government would have, one, admitted that the 2.5% tax, to your point, Tim, is having a worse effect on the people and the standard of living in St. Lucia. That they would have acknowledged that the price of fuel had dropped globally and we're going to drop the price of gas. That they would have accepted that if they wanted to have an immediate impact, that they would have extended, instead of having 1 month for the barrels, they would have allowed the barrel concession to come in all the way through the summer. But this government clearly is not interested in protecting the people of this country. This government is not interested in doing the right thing for the people of this country, and continue to play politics with the lives and ultimately the lives and livelihoods of St. Lucians. So I just want to say, I think that Guy Joseph hit the nail on the head, that this government is tax gouging the people of this country, and it's time that we raise our voices to say no more to this government.
Okay, thank you so much for calling the broadcast, sir.
And Merry Christmas to you, and Kimani, and to all your staff. And I also want to say a big up to my constituents in Micoud South, and certainly to all St. Lucians. And let us have a period of reflection over the Christmas. Let us come back and to understand that we cannot trust this government to govern our country by themselves, and we must raise our voices and continue to hold them accountable for what they're doing. But again, I wish everybody a wonderful Christmas. To please be safe, and continued blessings to all solutions.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You just heard there from the MP for Micoud South and leader of the parliamentary opposition, Mr. Alan Chasney. And to all of you who have been trying to get the line during the course of today, from tomorrow, our final broadcast for this year, very early on, I'll not be getting involved, presenting a preamble and all that. We'll just go straight into your contributions so that we can take as many calls as possible. Final comments in the chat room, Kimani?
In the chat room, someone says, agreed barrel concession should be extended to the summer. Other than that, nothing much going on in the chat room, Tim.
All right, thank you so much. Our final feature is our NewsSpin News of the Day. NewsSpin News of the Day. Turkish MP who collapsed after saying Israel will suffer Allah's wrath dies. Turkish MP who collapsed after saying Israel will suffer Allah's wrath dies. Our NewsSpin News of the Day. And as a broadcast, thank you so much for watching and listening. Don't forget to order your NewsSpin mugs, your Christmas NewsSpin mugs, specially produced for you in time for the festive season. To order, just send a message via WhatsApp, a WhatsApp message 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. We still have a few more mugs to sell to you. Those of you in the diaspora, you can also order and have a relative in St. Lucia purchase on your behalf and to have it shipped. That's the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening. You could join us tomorrow afternoon, same time, 12:30, for another edition of NewsSpin, the final broadcast for 2023. Goodbye.